You're listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Thank you, Harry. Hi, everybody. I am live today. Yay. You won't see me till November after this, but I did want to make sure that I tell you all that I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And also mention to y'all that today is a very good day because I'm able to catch up with my nephew and one of my very close spiritual leaders, Seven Taylor, who last time, that was July, right? In July, he released a book and some music that was just amazing. He sampled some of my show. To put that out there. Yeah. And he has been, when I tell you, busy. And because he's such a spiritual enforcement, I should say, he can't be reached sometime. And I don't even bother. If he reaches out to me, I reach out to him. I don't even worry. We just talk. We'll talk about the things we were talking about the day before, 2 days later. So that's just the way it works with him. But I am so happy to have you here with me again.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Yes. And for those that don't know, the last show, how did it go? And that release was amazing.
Yeah.
You haven't stopped since then.
It was definitely like a big opener to the universe.
So introduce yourself to people that don't know you or haven't watched the other shows.
Okay.
That we had. Yeah.
So I am Seven Taylor. I'm a universal spiritual connector. I'm at service of themselves. That's something I like to say. But I am a musician, published author, entrepreneur. Am I good?
Pull it closer to you.
Oh, okay. Got to spit on the mic. Okay. It's good?
Is that better? Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I am a music artist, entrepreneur, published author, so many different avenues of creativity. But for the most thing, I am Seven.
Yes.
And I'm just here to talk about a lot of amazing things I got going and what was established. And to have I guess this is like our little 1 year catch up.
Yeah, it's a little longer than 1 year, but it's just amazing that how much you've been doing. And I'm so very proud of you. I'm proud auntie of everything that you do because you give people the guidance that they need, And I try to tell people all the time, there are things spiritually that we need beyond to be on this earth.
Right.
So it's different when I explain to people that, all things that are not God are not evil. They are all connected. And I need to have some answers outside of what I'm being told.
Right.
So I would like to have somebody to mediate for me. And that happens if I call you, from my text messages where I'm at and my, and like, I'm energy. Sensing and I'm going, how do you know that? I know you know that. So, and you get it from your mama. So it happens.
Right. No, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of. I feel like that's kind of like how the origins of, just how all this came about. More so, I feel like in many ways, I feel like everything that I do, I'm paying homage to my ancestors.
Yes,
I'm paying homage to the natural magic that we create as melanated people, as super beings, supernatural experiences, and I feel like that is really the direction of, I guess it brought me, because to be honest, weeks prior I didn't have Voodoo Child, didn't exist. I just went to the studio and just released. Yep. And
that's often how you do though. But, and then you're like, oh, so there's the interpretation I was looking for, for whatever the situation is. And it's amazing how you do that. I listen to your music and go, wow.
Right.
That hit right there. Yeah. Somebody didn't hear that. I have to rewind it,
Yes.
But, a lot of times in not only your writings, but in your music, you touch on things that people are afraid of.
Yeah, that's true.
I like to, let people know that there's no reason to be afraid.
Right.
Things are not always going to be easy. You have to admit those difficult things, which you've helped me deal with on a regular basis, some of the traumas in my life. Right. And I thank you for that. I mean, it's always good to have faith over fear, but that PTSD is real, so you have to realize that we're on this earth and now we have the mental, which is different from, when we cross over a transition.
Yeah.
So we can't get to that peace if we don't have some of that peace here.
Right.
So you've helped me, transition my mind, body, and soul to be able to do the things that I do and not worry about what most people say.
Right.
So
that's an honor too. Yeah.
It's just amazing to. Yeah. I mean, my light's improved because you've been with me step by step with my light improving, and after getting remarried and everybody going, oh, you look like this. I said, no, it looks like energy because it is energy.
Yeah.
I have love on top of love on top of love on top of love.
Yeah.
Even in the middle, like my daughter's name is Love.
Right.
Right. Yeah, so you just have to think about that.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I really want to get into some of the performances that I've missed. I'm so upset about it. Some of the performances I missed. Some of the places you've been performing, because you've been everywhere. You've been all over the place. So every time I talk to you, like somewhere different.
Yes.
Yeah. And New York is your home. Connecticut's like your second home at this point.
Yes, basically.
So tell me about some of the places that you've been performing and giving your light to some people that needed it.
Right. Okay. So I would say for one of this, I would say this. On September the 7th, I am performing live at New Haven Pride. I got asked to open the show. So being an opener is a big job.
Yes.
You got to set the tone, set the energy, which I'm excited to do. But yeah, I know it's like
but what I'm doing is for you.
Right, exactly.
So listen,
and you're there in spirit too. You're there in spirit.
I'm all always pink. All pink.
Right.
All the pink neon you see.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I do have that coming up on this September the 7th. I'll be live and direct opening the show. My set is at 2 p.m. So get there by 1:50 at least. Get your drinks, whatever the situation is, and vibe out with me. I'm gonna be rapping some records from the album. And some stuff I never performed live before. I will say, because this year was definitely a Spirit is saying a passage through the fire. Oh, we gotta go with that one. It's a passage through the fire, and I feel like
it's a good way to explain it. It really is.
It just hit me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've navigated a lot of personal chapters. Most people don't know the day after I heard the news about my ex. I kicked the year off with death happened. Yes. But not death just happening with him. Death happening in any and every other way of rebirths and killing, old forms of yourself. And sadly, my ex definitely transitioned earlier this year, opening the chapter this year. And literally the next day, I got the invite from Wonderville out in Brooklyn to come and perform. So I had this moment to see exactly like, okay, do I want to move forward or do I want to chill out? Yes. And I feel like if anything, he would want me to
move forward, keep pushing.
Right. Move forward, keep pushing. So that's what I did. I had that moment. I went out there. It was an amazing crowd. It was very interesting to perform music from an album, the clip off, that was so transcending from just a bittersweet space.
It's what you needed. It's amazing that you were giving that opportunity right then and there.
Right.
It helped
like
you
literally
to keep
the next
from going to where you would have went.
Yeah. You better clock.
Here we go again.
Yes, you better clock.
Listen, when we get together, we just talk. We talk the same language because we have
we write on the same verbiage. Yes.
I know you caught that chill earlier too.
Yes,
right? Every time I get those chills, I'm like, oh, here he goes. Would you just leave that alone?
Right. Yes. Yeah. No.
But we started talking about the death. Death has been so prominent this year. It's been so interesting. It's like, it actually has me. I renewed my life insurance license so I can sell life insurance to people because it's just it's so
kinda
important.
Like a prominent thing,
So it's like one of those things. I saw so many people perish suddenly, and then it just people not realizing that it's indemnifying to have the life insurance, but it doesn't. Just having enough to not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it also because of all that we've been through together and separate with the babies passing away and things like that. I mean, two of my 20-year-olds, this year, passed away, and it's just sudden, and you helped me through those, and it stepped me to just going ahead and saying, look, this is what I want, and y'all are going to take a party bus to Litchfield and spread me on my tree. And you'll have to go all the way to Litchfield to see my ashes. So I'm encouraging you not to go to somewhere to look for me, because I'm all in you. So
that is true.
So it's different. It makes you, it gives you perspective.
It does. It shifts your perspective so much because, for me, I feel like I'm having a lot of those out of body experiences, but I feel like I'm also observing myself, because I'm like, dang, you're so resilient.
Growth moments, right?
Yes, but it's like at the same expense of it, you're nourishing that space where after you're done with everything and you get into the room by yourself and you close the doors and you pull them damn big curtains, you allow yourself to just decompress. And you reflect, and I think my reflection, I'm a night owl. My reflection comes at night. My creativity comes at night.
12. I might text you before that, but I don't even bother. If I need to call you,
a lot of people are like, oh, you going to bed? No. If I'm going to bed early, they know it got to be some type of business. I was today I got business, so I got to be to bed early. But I love the nighttime. I come alive in the nighttime. More so than anything. But I think for me, the passage through the fire is understanding how the fire leads you. And sometimes when the sight sense is gone, you're going by the touch and the feel and the solar plex and the discernment of self. And I feel like that has been it, like to, again, get that call that I kind of already envisioned.
You knew it was coming.
I knew before I answered the phone. I said, why she call me? Why she call me? And then, like I said,
or I was waiting for that call.
I was waiting for it, and it's like, and I kind of always just try to dispel it because I feel like I was like, I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to think of those things, stuff like that. So anytime even last year, anytime I would get a call from his immediate family, I always be like, okay.
And answer the phone, be ready.
Because it was this nerve wracking, but mental health is very important. I launched an organization that is still in the works. It is called For Black Men Whom Consider Ending Their Own Rainbow. It pays just a big homage to not just queer black health, but all spectrums, straight, question, curious, however you want to come.
Mental, like the mental stability of, having that question in your mind and thinking that you need to extinguish your light. Society has us thinking, and I know also some of the churches, I mean, it's wrong. But you know what? I know for a fact that I don't have any hell or heaven to put anyone in. Right. So I don't put anybody in a box, and I you gotta love one another. Love your brother, love your neighbor, love. But then you turn around and say, well, you're wrong, so I can't love you. That just doesn't work out for me.
So it's contradicting.
It's very contradicting. It's double-sided, and it's a double-edged sword considering what we've been going through lately in New Haven alone, with a lot of people being called that are in ministry. So I would prefer to have someone,
and even on people that's outside that spectrum, because it's like sometimes you just have people that really want you at a certain facet. Like an conceptual idea of you, and then after that idea is done, you're done. Okay, your purpose is done there. Like,
that's got to be an awful thing. You know, to find out who you are, have somebody and think somebody's loving you, and then all of a sudden it's just like, it definitely is a traumatic experience on your mental health. Because I'm one of those people that's always given my all when it comes to relationships. And I've been down that road, and I'm going, oh, wait a minute. And then just explaining to people that I am who I am, and you can't extinguish my light. It doesn't help the situation, but it does help me. So
I agree.
And your works, a lot of your works, if people listen and read it, they'll understand a lot about it.
Hear this.
So now you'll see a lot of yourself in a lot of your writings, especially. I still didn't get my book.
You want to know something?
Wait a minute, hold up. I just thought about it. Where's my book at? From last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait, I still get my book.
That's another And then, but you never. Oh, anyway, we'll hit there.
We'll talk about that.
But I was gonna say as well. Even like so. Just to talk about the clip off just a little bit, in a sense of, because we have passed, we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
On September 27th. I came here July 27th.
Yeah.
27 has been a number since last year that follows me every day.
It's something, right?
Yeah, so I always know something is about the curse, something about the trans, because I keep popping up on 7.
And I always mess with you because I was born in 72, so you do 27 again. This is why we're here.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute, we're just...
Yes, all the numerology does not lie. And yeah, it's like when I was working on that, like I said, that album took 3 years to work on. I had the initial thought of it in 2021, and in 2022 and 2023, I started to do like the recording process for it. To go back to that album and to listen to it, even the things that I said in the opener track of the album, like I just feel like a lot of stuff I prophesized, like it's already happened. It scared me, because I was like, oh my gosh. Did I really just say this? And then it happens the next year. But yeah, and then on top of that, it's like I remember going vividly to the nursing home last year, and I was speaking with my grandmother, and we always talked about pop culture and music. Like that was our thing. And something told me to record the conversation. And I've recorded conversations before with me and her, but something told me just to record that conversation. So we was talking about Marvin Gaye and what happened with his father and all that stuff like that. And then it happened to make its way onto the album as well. Like it was another along with that conversation we had, that was sampled as well.
Yes, I saw that.
It was just to think about that, I was like, wow. I was like, what you do for art.
Yes.
And how you compose in the spaces for art. And how art composes you, because it's like we think that art is...
You're building yourself.
Yeah.
You're building yourself. And you're such an artist where you just build yourself. Whenever you find that you need to do it, you're going to stop doing everything else to do that.
Yeah.
And it's nourishing. It's like... It's impossible to extinguish your light. Like I always say, if you're always walking in it and you're paying attention. Yes. Some people just don't pay attention. And there's little things that are answers. Yeah. Instead of trying to find your own answer, the answer might be right there in front of you. Yeah. And a lot of times, in just talking to people with mental health challenges, they get stuck.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things in your books and your music are aids. Yeah. And usually if you tell me, I feel like this, and I'm like, okay. And I know I'm listening because that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, that's definitely channeling that energy, putting that energy in perspective. And just even, like I said, like the composing of the art and how the art sometimes now compose you. Because you can have a year later after something happened and you're in the car and that song comes on and it's that memory that's attached to it, and you're like, oh shoot, I'm here now. Oh, it happened. Like, that's what I feel like with grief. Grief is like something that you every now and then wake up and say, oh, it happened. Oh, it's occurring. Or, oh, I'm okay, I'm processing now.
And I'm amazed by the lead that you have taken with your family as far as losing my auntie. My auntie Carolyn. And it's just amazing to see the strength and some of the weaknesses be rebuilt, and the strength that you carried, and you actually took your time and did what you needed to do for yourself so you could take care of everyone else. And then you said, okay, time for me to shut down. It's my time. And you that link that you guys have, and it's forever. As opposed to it just being earthly now. It's forever, infinite, light and spirit and guidance. Yep. And you have a great guidance with that.
I agree.
And I am, again, I said I'm proud of you. And I'm glad that I was able to be there for you as much as I could. For that. And my sister, big up to my sister Denise also.
Yes, y'all were definitely a great...
Down the street. Down the street I call it, even though they're down the hall.
Yes.
But down the street, she's like, oh, just look for the burgundy heart. I think burgundy ribbon on the door. Okay, I'm going to burgundy ribbon. It's like next door. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we right here.
Like, yeah.
But and it was definitely a step-by-step process. Yeah. It was definitely something to not only just, I guess, walk through, but it was something to acknowledge, because it's just like preparing for a baby to come into the world. you know, we all got to get to that one step or that one place where we're like, okay, all right, this is what you want to do. And she told me, like, I tell people all the time, like, I didn't tell a lot of people I didn't tell because a lot of people are not in that educational space. They would have started freaking out. But she told me last April that she was not going to be here much longer. And then this following April that is passed, she went into hospice care. So it's like she already knew. She already knew her timeline and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me take every moment in that I can. Because it's amazing
because she went through that moment where she was eating and, you know, chatting and having a really good time. So that was like,
even as I said, even that recording conversation, it was a different version of her. She was lively. She was like chit chatting. I came in a room. Hey, how you doing? You know, we had our regular talks, and you know that's how that occurred. But it's, again, I go to say this. I want to hyperlize this space. The versions of yourself when they are presented is the most amazing part of this experience because you get to analyze it, you get to examine it, and I want people to learn how to digest the moment of who you are right now. Because in 2 minutes you may not be that same person again.
And you know what? And it's okay. You know? To be okay with that or not be okay with that.
Evolution is beautiful.
You know, because I'm okay with, you know, I'm here. I'm always the same person in most cases. Now, I do become that frantic person. I do become that tired person. I do become that grumpy person.
Right.
You know, I'm a Pisces. It happens. You know, you're going to get whatever you get for that time.
Right.
You know, but all in all, every opportunity you get to learn yourself, you are always learning yourself till the day you die.
It's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing thing.
You can never say I know myself completely. Because just don't know.
Because it's like
the next minute, if something's going to change your
literally in 2 minutes, like it literally after this is done, this becomes a memory. So it's like, and once I started to conceive that idea of things as well, I started to realize, oh, this is what all this is. All this slowly becomes a memory. So you have to live in the present. You have to understand the present, just so that when you do get to the space of the future, because everybody's always hyperalizing the future. When you do get to the space of the future, you can understand the past. You can understand where you're coming from, the direction, the integratedness of everything. That's what I feel. I feel like at this moment in my life, I've achieved a space of deep love with myself, understanding, forgiveness,
and the importance of all.
And the importance, I agree. And then on top of that, I've also achieved a space where I can, if I want to, jump out of this house and turn the mirror around. And let me look. Let me see.
Make sure this is it.
Is it all pink? You know, what's the given? You know, what's the look? What's the feel? And I think some people can understand that. Some people may not understand that, but it's just like the way we mirror ourselves is how we attract our realities. And every now and then it's okay to step outside of you and turn the mirror around and go, okay, let me fix my lipstick, let me do this, let me do that, whatever, you know, touch yourself up a little bit, because we are always constantly evolving as beings, but we're also still going through this thing called the transition. We're getting from one place to another place. You know, and either
there's seasons within our season on this earth. So I mean, like there's 4 seasons in a year. We can have thousands of seasons in our lifetime. So we got to remember, like, this is my season.
And there's some people that bring a season out of you
but
too.
I'm okay to losing. And
like I mean, I feel like even in this moment, like I feel I could feel the energy in this room. There's a season where you learn something from each other. You know, you give me a seed, I give you okay. And then on top of that, it's like when we do harvest these seeds and we go plant them and we tend to them, it's like now understand the beauty of your garden on a deeper level now. Because now that you have the privilege, like for me to be who I am is a privilege. Because when people, when those individuals that are growing up in my family get to look out and see, you got, I was cousins with this person, cousins with that person. Okay, he was cousins with Seven Taylor too. Look at his books, look at his music, look at this, look at his resume. It's like I'm leading a pack. And of course, I'm gonna highlight this as well. When you are the first to do things, you're always gonna have resistance.
Of course.
You're always gonna have misunderstanding. When Lauryn Hill said the misunderstanding of Lauryn Hill, she meant to, in my space, I feel like she was saying for her to lead her space, her village, she then had to also sacrifice herself for the village.
Yes.
You know, and once the village understands the job that she's doing,
her stability just, she's still.
They can, because we have to understand, we have to learn how to love those that are showing up independently. We are independent.
Listen, I tell you,
you know,
normal people that say they're normal worry me because it's not possible. It's not possible. You know, especially in this day and age. I say we all have I always say we all have PTSD from COVID.
We all seen some things that that kind of like shook us up. Yeah.
So I wanted to see what your thoughts are right now with everything that's going on with our children. You know, and I really think that this is opportunity for some of the parents to hear what's really going on.
Houston song playing in my head.
Yeah.
You know what song?
I believe the children of the future. Well, we need to stop bouncing. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about when he and I go somewhere together.
Right.
We bounce off each other so bad that we end up going 4 or 5 places and have to remember what we did the next day. Like, how many places did we go?
Oh my, yes, that was the time.
If I Uber downtown and I'm like, we're going wherever, and we just go and have fun and bounce off each other, and we just love it.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to have. We have to do that when I get back.
Yes.
Definitely when I get back.
No, it's a must.
Yeah.
But you were saying like the state of the children,
what messages can you give to allow parents to understand that children are individuals and they're totally different because they have social media and they have other things. So to help and enlighten them on allowing them to make mistakes and being just as delicate as they can with the situations that they're dealing with.
Right.
The discipline is different. You know, we can't allow the cops to discipline our kids, but at the same time, we're not doing what we need to do because we got our hands tied.
Right.
You can't call DCF on yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
You can, but they're not going to take the case. You know?
Yeah. No, they're kind of like, what's going on?
I'm calling 911 and DCS by myself because I know I'm getting ready to do this.
Right.
And they're still like, well, you know, we
got to wait for you to do it.
We got to wait for you to do it so we can, chastise you.
Right.
And the child's still doing the same thing.
Right. So, I would say the biggest advice I can give is I feel like this. Now that I'm much more mature, I'm 29 years old. Yeah. In 2 months, I'll be 30. My little 30, chapter. But
don't talk about it. I'm not gonna be here.
Right. Yeah. So it's like in that span of time, and then also me just getting at the last little whiff ends of my Saturn return too. That's from 27 to 30.
27 to 30.
It's a pivotal moment, but if you do the work, it's beautiful. But I feel like when I do examine my parents and examine myself, I can examine the spaces of, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I also could examine the space of you were trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Establish, grow, evolve, understand, overcome, conquer, etc. So I have to look at you as an individual now. Yes. I can't no longer always look at you at the lens of mommy or daddy because you too have your own timeline and alignment. My father, he transitioned a few years back as well. Yes. And the greatest thing that I learned from him is actually looking at his yearbook, where they say what you want to do when you get up out of here.
Yes.
He said the Army are artists, and he did go into the Army for a bit, and left after a while. But and then I looked in, and like as I examined it, I said, "Oh, he chose that route, and then he allowed me to choose the artist route." So
you did.
So I carried out that ancestor, the possibility because that's what my father wants to do. He wanted to either be an army or be an artist.
You can't do both, so I'm going to give it to someone.
Right, and then sometimes we have a thing that's called double consciousness. So even here, you having double consciousness. You're not being exactly who you are, but you're being exactly what's needed for the position at hand.
Yep. At that time. There we go.
Right. Right. So I feel like at the end of the day, when you do go deeper into that vault of things, you start to realize that the children, for one, they need to be heard.
Yes.
Understood.
Yes.
But also they need to have the sensitivity to grow and to create. I feel like her name is, what is her name? Jada? Is it Jada Waiter?
I don't know.
I believe it's Jada Waiter, if I'm not mistaken, but she has a son by the rapper, the big little baby. The internet crucifies her a lot because her son shows a lot of elements of femininity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't know his direction or where he's going. There's a lot of people I know that were, you know, dainty. Mm-hmm. Now they're, you know, happily married. You know, whatever your tea is, whatever the sugar gonna be. You know, but it's like at the end of the day, why is this child being so hyperalized in the space of y'all worried about what he's not there yet? That's a child.
What I was saying. I mean, that's why people run from spirituality in any kind, because it's so chastising and double-minded, and you know, it double-edged sword, and I can't even name them things that it ends up being. But at the same time, I know my beliefs, and I love people just the same. I believe in love and kindness.
And I don't think necessarily, just to interject with you, I don't necessarily think it's just, I don't think it's the spirituality. I think it's more so the religion. The religion comes in and it breaks up everything. The spirituality is right here. Me and you talking, we're having a spiritual experience.
Yeah, of course.
You and your body and my body. And we swap once, you know, Freaky Friday. But at the same aspect,
there you go.
At the same aspect, there is people that are having religion that is, oh, well, I grew up in a type of household, so we do things this way and this. That's not the way the world works. Babe. That's your family.
Especially now, the world works very differently.
That's your family, and that's what your family programmed in you. Now you have the space to unprogram that and learn something much more better, or you want to extend it, whatever how you want to pay homage to your lineage. But there's people that feel as though because they feel this way and that way, when even when you go deep into Christianity and things and stuff like that, then you got this book called the Book of Enoch that comes in and kind of contradicts everything that King James was talking about. So it's kind of like
they just started, a lot of people started bringing that up, like sitting on the green, someone was coming and speaking to someone on the green, and then all of a sudden when they brought it up, she turned into this literally a demon. She was just like, oh no, I don't think I want you to come to my church. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just ask him to come to your church and give him I'm confused. The daily bread, come on.
Right.
Well, you listen to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH 103.5 FM, New Haven Independent, your home for community radio. I'm here with my nephew and very, very wonderful spiritual advisor, Seven Taylor. And we are going from his clip off to his new EP, Voodoo Child, and in between and everything in between. And we're also giving some advice: take it, leave it, ground it, replay it, reverse it, whatever you need to do. just make sure, you know, that you're doing what you need to do to have the love and light that you see here on the screen and hear in our voices. So, the children. You know, we just got to do the best that we can. Let's talk about what's coming up. We got some stuff. I'm so sad that I won't be here, but I'm going for you. I keep saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And for your and for what you need to go
for. Listen, I need to go for what I need to go for. I need to go Rosie the Riveter.
It's the reason and
Rosie
everything.
the Riveter. I'm going there. Okay.
So I have, like I was saying earlier, Voodoo Child basically birthed herself. She just popped me up and was like, hey, let's go to the studio. So I happened to just do a 4-hour block, and I was able to create. Yes, I love it. Okay. I did a 4-hour block, and I was able to just create a few amazing dope records. I have one record that's called Beetlejuice. It opens up the project. I feel like when people do hear that record, you'll get a very big sense of space of where I'm at with things creative wise, how you know I'm performing, rapping, etc. It just birthed itself. I went along with it. I was just like, let me hit up my studio guy, Frank. Let's get it.
It's here.
Cue up the beats. Let me do what I gotta do. And I was able to just connect. And even in that experience itself, I felt strong proudness for my ex. I felt the energy. Like I was like, I felt it. Made me a little emotional, but I felt so proud to be there and to just be able to do it again. You know, again, I tell people all the time, there's a thing that's called the artist contract that you go into, that once you say, hey, I'm an artist, boom, you signed it. Now life creates all these different content moments for you to reflect and use into your artistry. And that's why a lot of people at the height of their career, they just wither away, or they run away because they know that this thing is always changing. So the people that you're in a room with now, 2 months from now, it might become an empty room.
Yes.
You know, so it's definitely something that I feel like with Voodoo Child, which is a five track EP, it's an extension of the clip off. Yep. So when you do listen to it, listen to the last track of the clip off, and then go into Voodoo Child.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that it's a multiverse.
It's seasoned. So yeah, it definitely is different. I love that part.
And it drops September the 28th.
September the 28th.
A day after 1 year anniversary.
Yes, 1 year. Oh wow.
And at 8 is
Ordo. Yes. Yep. And it's 30. 40. 50. Doing all those. Yep. Yeah. So I'm looking at 53, which is I like that.
Right.
I like that. I am who I am.
A new chapter awaits you.
I'm really so. Explain the album cover, sir, so people that don't understand it or might scare away from it because they're
so
like,
basically,
Black Cat.
I feel like black cats are my spiritual familiars. Anytime I see black cats, they always want to talk to me. They like being around me. Yeah. So you want to know something? I actually seen this cover in when I woke up, like how it is. I designed it myself, by the way. Yeah. But I just seen it how that I was like, I want it to just look very spiritual, but also have an essence of mystery because that's me. Yes, you don't know how I'm coming. You know, I'm coming in pink or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so that cover is just it popped in my mind, and I just went in front of my design programs. And
so this is what I want. I want this.
Drafted it up. And then this part right here is just the moon cycles. And that's us. We go through moon cycles.
Don't understand what the moon cycles are like. They're like, oh, that's some symbol of cult or whatever, you know, who knows. And then of course the hand gesture, because people don't understand hand gesture is very guiding. You know, it's guiding.
Sign language is the first language to the brain. You know, before we start getting verbal, we were telepathic first. You know, so people so people you pick up on things quicker with you know, doing signing. So you're like, the time, you know, So I just threw that in there, you know. She got the black nails up there and stuff like that. I love black. Black's my favorite color. But yeah, it's something to make a statement. Yes. But I feel like the music is complementary.
But it goes with the music, I'm sure.
Oh yes, it definitely goes with the music, and it I just tap more into my subconscious.
And of course, explicit advisory. You know that.
Yes, I'm a very explicit.
But it's because it really
I'm raw and uncut.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to be like, oh wow, wait, let me reverse.
And we could radio edit it too. You know, I can give you a little radio edit too if we need to. But I feel like my biggest connection to my audience and who I create for is I could come as I am.
To keep it as you are, and I like that. I like that. I really.
They enjoy it.
I don't know when they cut off all the lyrics and stuff. It's like it doesn't even. Well, some of them.
Even when you perform and stuff like that, you're like, you know. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, art is so opinionated. It's subjective.
It is very much so.
It's personal and it's spiritual. So you got to pick what lane that you want to do, how you want to dissect Seven, and I'm gonna come regardless.
Yes.
Bring the wood. I'm gonna bring the s'mores.
Here I am.
You know.
Here I am with the fire.
Yes. And it feels. I got warm out of nowhere here, but yeah.
Oh, well,
I don't know if it's just this building. I think it's like a lot of spiritual energy in this building. I always feel energy in here.
And when you come in, right?
Yes.
A lot of energy, It's great because we have a lot of people that specifically work here and do a lot of work for the community. And have gone through a lot of things.
Okay, so that's what I'm picking up on.
Mentally and physically and just, you know, trials and tribulations. And we kind of cut to the chase with it. The New Haven Independent paper kind of cuts to the chase on things.
Yes.
So, you know.
We love that.
You know, everyone here, you know, it's my extended family. I'm not in the studios often, but I know I can always just send an email and have all the energy that I need to go, like what I'm getting ready to do.
Right.
So
get ready for the show.
Listen, you already know. He says get ready for the show because he knows that is going to be a whole entirely new season. Me. When I go. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to be leaving for 2.5 months, leaving my family and friends to care for the United States the best I can. So I mean, some people may say it's a dangerous and I shouldn't go, but I'm going to tell you that I'm doing it for everyone that thinks that I shouldn't do it. Probably more of the people that would rather me stay home. And I think those people would rather me stay home until
And so it's you're beneficial to them.
Yeah. So yeah.
You step in your own alignment. I'm proud of you for that.
Listen, I did it before. I spent the 40 days in Georgia when I needed to. Now I'm going to go and do this time and make the best of it and teach. The people that are in despair.
Right.
That is not what is meant for them. If they're willing to work.
Right.
And I don't mean going to a job. I mean to work.
Right.
For themselves and others. You can't just sit and just take what people give to you.
You got to do the work.
Yes, you got to. So, any advice to myself right now? I know we got to meet up eventually, but like any advice that you would have for me in this new venture, which is not really new, but it's just me bringing it to a different area.
I'm choosing me chapter.
Yes, I'm choosing me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the best advice I can conjure up for you is when your reality sets, you will understand why you love the moon sometimes than the sun. And sometimes the sun more than the moon. Because at the end of the day, you are showing up for you and not just your light side. You're showing up for your subconscious side too. You're showing up for your traumas. You're showing up for 7-year-old you, 12-year-old you, 18-year-old you. They throwing the numbers at me. You're showing up for all those different versions of you because they all coexist in you still. And they're proud of you. They're proud of you.
Yeah,
and they say we're the best because I don't know why. I don't know. Do you like the silver lipstick or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I always have bold lipstick on. I always have.
Because they said when you get there, wear your silver lipstick.
Silver and gold. We gotta match the silver now.
Yes. And you look good. You look youthful. You look very just ready for a nice woosah, but still showing up in community.
And I explained to you normally we're karaokeing. I did one song last night, and then my hairdresser called me at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm going to get my hair done. And I was like, now? I said, I'll drop you off at home and I'm going to go get my hair done. I went and got my hair done.
Yeah.
And the entire shop had people in it getting hair done. And this is at 10:30 at night. And there's still people there when I left that were just like in the middle
Everybody's
of it.
In this, it's in that alignment.
It's like I needed that instead of the crowd at karaoke, on top of the fact that I needed to get my hair done. So I listened and I did that, and it was good because
it's always
I got a lot of energy being in there with some of my sisters from different parts of Africa and learning more about them. I've been doing a lot with them lately. I've like clothes, because they send the clothes home in barrels and things like that. But I've been doing a lot with them in the past 20-30 years, and I never get a chance to see one of my people that had been braiding my hair since I was 16. And I walked down Dixwell Avenue yesterday because I parked my car in the middle over by Walgreens. And she came out of the braid shop, and I hadn't seen her in probably about 5 or 6 years, and it's amazing that happened. So I was able to have that connection with her too. So
that's beautiful.
She's like, "Oh, I got lots of family in Philadelphia." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So now you got to connect to the connect.
Connect to the connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Denise is always telling me we have family there too.
Right.
But I know who I'm going for. It's going to be a lot of out of body, like you said, a lot of out of body, out of body. I'm looking.
I feel like it's going to be a lot of peace, because sometimes we need that four wall. We kind of need that place to be able to be in third person and also break the four wall when we need to. And so it's gonna be you're gonna enjoy it. Yeah. You're gonna be more at peace.
Well, I love speaking. Healing into people as much as I can, and speaking life into people that don't know that there's actually life.
You know what you're giving me today? I feel, with Black Panther, the mother, now that all of them, they had like the stormish type hair with this kind of the silver going through. That's what I feel that essence from you.
I get the storm relation all the time. From people are like, oh,
I love storm.
I mean, I was just at Milford, and the guy stopped and said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful."
Right.
Harry's clapping. I was like, what are you clapping about? Listen.
I was like, wait, is that the chop?
I was waiting for, no, we got a few more minutes. I'm like, is that 2 minutes?
Right. Yes.
And of course, I have to deal with Harry before I go to Philly. I told him, you're going to Philadelphia to what did you say? The campaign for Trump? That's what you said to me? He came out of his face with that. So that was all right. So I'm ready with him. When I get back, I know I'm going to have a whole lot of stuff to be said to me. But I love Harry just the same. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
He'll be all right either way.
Yes, passageway. Like I said, a passageway through the fire.
Yeah, I'm working on some other things. I'm not even worried about the presidential election. That's going to be what it has to be, but we got to do what we got to do.
We got to show up for us.
Yes, we got to show up for us.
So we can know the direction.
Whatever your truth is. You got to show up for whatever your truth is.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's know everything comes with the... every reality that's chosen has a positive and negative.
Yeah.
And sometimes the negative is not just a negative. It could be like you going to work today. Okay, the negative experience is I missed out with the baby at home.
Yeah,
You know, so it's like everything has.
I'm at my show. I dropped my granddaughter off at my niece, but my niece she loves being there because she has 2 other kids to play with.
Right.
What's she gonna do at home with me besides play with her own toys, play on the phone, play games, and watch TV? Yeah. But instead, she's out interacting. And I apologize if she's beating people up because she's in that stage.
Right.
You know how 2 Azari is. Azari's 2-2.
Okay.
She's,
full throttle 2.
I'm cute. I'm precious and a little bit dramatic.
Right.
Cute. She's Denise. She's an Aries. Right.
She a fire sign. Oh yeah. Fire signs will show up and show out real quick.
Oh my goodness, the tantrums have become so super dramatic. It's like I said no, and her life is going to end right then and there. But tell me more. So we got the 7th coming up. You had a bunch of other flyers going on too in different places.
Yeah. So I have this thing that I co-created with another artist. His name is Dim. He's out in Colorado. Yeah, it's called Artist on Artist. So we created this during the height of the pandemic 4 years ago, and I just was like, you know what? While I'm in promotion and doing press for Voodoo Child, I was like, let me also create. As I always do, create space for other people in my community that maybe don't have the right connect or the right situation, but they want to promote something that they have going on, and we can bounce back. Yeah, you ask me some questions, I ask you some questions.
I put that flyer up, and I noticed it was like artist on artist, but it's like you guys interviewing each other.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes, because nobody's gonna relate better than us. Yeah, we know this reality.
To each other, and you can bring things to other artists that are up and coming. You know, and it just the projects that you do are all for everyone. Yeah. They're for everyone. And everybody has a different stage in their life as far as artist on artist. So you have an opportunity to meet some that are newer and older and seasoned and younger and just starting and, And
they just need that lineage because I was like the younger 7 versus the one now. Bold, fearless, but at the same aspect, I'm like, if I heard or knew of certain avenues of information, I don't regret my journey, but it can help prepare you for the journey. So I try to I do collaboration playlists with different platforms, which is something we got to talk about. I do a lot of artist spotlights and stuff like that. So again, I could have been more so this. It's about me, Voodoo Shop. I was like, no, let me share some space with some people. Let me, but that's just me naturally. I share the wealth. That's the way I navigate. That's the way I evolve.
It's the way we eat.
Yeah,
it's the way we eat. It's not even about food
because they'll bring us a full plate, and I'm like, well, I know Jimmy and this person and that person want a little, so let me just cut them a little slice and give it to them.
Listen,
I come back to the plate back full again.
Yes,
that's how it works
all over again.
That's the
energy.
You
know what? That means that they knew you could empty it because they were filling it before you could even empty it. Yeah. So I get that. It's all the intention. I get it all the time.
Yes, it's kind of like back in the day with the rollover minutes.
Oh my god, rollover minutes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What is that rollover minute? Oh my goodness. Back in the day when the cell phones were,
and you can roll over the minutes. Yeah, that's I think about that when it comes to divineness and whether people want to call it blessings or favoritism or favor. That's how it is. It's like stuff is rolling over, but it comes at the time it's supposed to.
You know what? And you hit it right on the nail. I saw there's a payphone still on what they call Howard and Orchard. Henry and Orchard. They call it Ho. Henry and Orchard. Right. But literally, on the side of A to Z Deli, there is an old payphone. And I asked some of the kids that were outside, do you know what that is? Right. And I explained to them how we used to have beepers and have to go to the phone and put money in there to talk to someone. And then the time would run out, so you would have to add more money. And then it became credit cards. And then, of course, we got the cell phones, which were heavy. Right. They were like backpacks back then. And now we have these cell phones that you can't find in your bag.
And you want to know something? We didn't. And I grew up in that area where everything was happening at once. technology, everything was advancing. And I remember going to the payphone as well for the babysitter to call one of her people. So I took the little piece of paper, put the quarter in here, and I'm like, she want this and this and this and that. All right, gotta go.
Okay, before
I hang up, or before I gotta add more quarters to it. But wow.
Yeah, and then
time has changed.
So I said by the time Zari gets there, she might have a chip implant that she could talk. Say, call this one instead.
Plop it.
Yeah, just put it in her
brain.
ear.
Call such and such. Yes.
And you don't even need a number because it just connect to their chip.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's coming. It's
yeah.
No.
Oh.
On that note, would you like to tell anybody that might be afraid of the things we spoke about? Look.
That was
He's
funny.
talking about your
Yes. No, I feel like art is opinionated, it's subjective, it's not personal, but it can be personal.
You see your link is on there, right?
Oh, it is?
Gotcha.
Oh, yes. Come on now.
See?
Yeah.
Harry really is a super, he's super engineer. He's super engineer.
Yes, I appreciate it. I just feel like at the end of the day, I come from that era of artists where we were just bold.
Yeah.
We were us and Grace Jones and Dennis Rodman and all these different other people. Just think about me being in that boat.
Well, you know what? I go a little bit step further because with your creativity, Prince and Michael Jackson, because you are always creating.
Yep.
I mean,
since a kid.
Listen, I remember when you first started writing. I guess some of your writings from then.
Yeah.
Any questions? Yeah, isn't that Prince? Yeah.
Yeah.
I said you're like Prince and Michael Jackson.
Was very particular with his colors.
Catch people off guard.
Yeah.
You know, even with think about Michael Jackson with Thriller. Who's going to think of Michael Jackson turning into?
Michael Jackson, was it yesterday or today? It was yesterday. He turned 66. Right?
Yes. Yesterday.
Yeah. So I was like 66. That's young.
When
I was younger, I was like, "You old." But now that I'm much more mature in age, that's young.
Yeah.
My grandmother turned 78 before she went. Yeah. But she waited for that 8 to come. Like I said, they waited for that alignment to come to get up out of here.
Yeah.
So baby, this is year 8, so we gotta get the 8 some way somehow.
She literally
and they kept giving all those.
I mean, how many dates? I was like
2 hours, 1 hour a day. She said, "I'm gonna make it to
a month and a half later."
Yes, she made that birthday and everything.
Yes,
but that's a big compliment. Yes, I feel like with my artistry, the way it grows, I like that it makes people uncomfortable. I like that.
Yeah,
I like even when I was in Dunkin' Donuts today in this ensemble.
You said that.
I was like, I like it.
Everybody's looking at me. I'm like,
yeah, because it's like we're too aware of what people think, and this is why you're not living.
Yeah.
You keep limiting your experiences for what someone's going to say.
People are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally. And everything else because people are not living.
If you want
They're living in a lie that's killing people.
If you want to pop out in an all yellow peacock suit, do it.
What?
If it's going to heal your inner child.
Listen.
I just felt like I wanted
You and I are examples of that, right?
Yes.
Listen, I will show up somewhere.
And people are like, "Oh, wait, what do you mean?"
All the way overdone. I don't gotta
be the dress code.
I showed up
the dress code
to our meeting, our our state meeting.
Right.
In all the royal blue I could find.
Right.
With my gray hair.
Yes.
And I found
you were
feathers.
Royalty.
Remember the feathers? I was like,
yes.
Yeah. If I'm a blue, I'm a blue. Okay. If I'm a purple, I'm a purple.
I love colors.
Yeah. But I'm gonna today I was just like, I feel like color all day.
Yeah.
I feel like people not even seeing my feet, just me floating
I see the world in color. I don't see it in black or white. No. That's why we got past that.
Okay.
Place, you know?
We gotta get where we gotta get.
Let's splash a little color in here.
Anything you want to tell?
Yeah.
You have how many minutes, Harry? We got like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes.
So you got 3 minutes, and
all right, make it fast.
3 minutes.
I will say this. I want to thank everyone for the constant support. I want to thank you, Harry, everybody here for just being welcoming to me and my presence, my pink presence. And I do wanted to say, if you are going through the voyage, understand the fire, and also understand when your internal fire is low. Put your wood in there, feed you, baby, before you try to feed the world, because you can't feed them something that you don't have. That's a big thing. And Voodoo Child out on September 28th. I'm performing live on the 7th of September. I'm trying to get all the dates in my head. And yeah, catch me sporadically on all the other platforms because I got a lot of little interviews and things I'm doing with some other artists, and we're gonna talk about each other's artistry. And like I said, a big compliment for those references of Michael and Prince because those are people I look to. And when I'm listening to albums and making an album, I'm listening to albums to make an album. I'm not listening to burnout singles, by the way. I'm not listening to burnout artists either. No. I need the real. And I need what Shaka Khan was on. Okay.
Like I sang Ain't Nobody last night too.
Ain't nobody.
I would like to thank you, and I love you, and you know the deal. And you have been listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH 103.5 New Haven Independent, your home for community radio. Thank you.
Thank you.
My nephew. I love you. Shout out to mommy.
Yeah, shout
out to aunties. And everyone else, and brothers and sisters, and all y'all. The whole village. And rest in eternal peace.
Yes.
To your grandma, my auntie. Yes.
And shout out Venetia Forbes.
Oh, yes. And your ex as well. Yes.
Can't believe it all happened in this one,
2 months and 7 or 8 days. I will see you on November live again.
Yes.
I will be putting out some pre-records and everything else. You guys look out for me on Babs and Harry. Thank you. Super engineer, Harry Jost.
Doing his thing.
Thank you, Seven. I love you, baby.
Always. Thank you.